We're looking at some really staggering numbers today. Between 36 and 40,000 people killed. And just so we're clear, this isn't a battlefield in Ukraine or Gaza we're talking about.
No, this is internal. This is unrest inside Iran. It paints a grim picture right from the start.
It really does.
And our source for this deep dive is a pretty high-stakes interview between Hugh Hewitt and Reza Pahlavi, the Crown Prince of Iran in exile.
And he's not holding back at all.
Not at all. He describes the regime finishing off wounded protesters in hospital beds. He actually calls it a genocide in the making.
Which is really the starting point for his whole argument. He isn't just, venting. He's laying out a very specific roadmap for Washington.
Yes. The core of it is that he believes the Iranian regime is hollow right now, and he has a plan to topple it.
But the ask he's making of the United States is, well, it's surprisingly bold.
It is. I mean, to get it, you have to see how he frames the power dynamic.
Okay.
Pahlavi's argument is that you have unarmed civilians facing down actual war instruments.
So machine guns, tanks.
Exactly. His whole point is that the people want to overthrow the mullahs, but they just physically can't do it alone.
So he wants the U.S. to come in and level the playing field. But we need to be really precise here because intervention is such a loaded word.
Right.
He's not asking for boots on the ground, is he? No full-scale invasion.
Explicitly no. He's smart. He knows that's a complete non-starter for the American public.
So what then?
He's asking for surgical airstrikes. But here's the key part, the distinction that really matters. He wants the U.S. to target the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, and their specific tools of repression.
That's a crucial distinction. The IRGC isn't just the army.
No, it's an ideological force, a paramilitary that basically runs the economy and all the repression. Pahlavi is saying, you take out their Praetorian Guard, you break their heavy weapons, and the people will handle the rest.
He's betting that if you neutralize the IRGC, the whole thing just collapses.
That's the bet. And he even addresses the fear of retaliation. You know those AI videos the regime puts out, the ones showing them sinking U.S. aircraft carriers?
Yeah, they look like something from a video game.
Pahlavi just calls it a desperate bluff. Saber-rattling is his word. He says, look, their recent attacks on Israel were mostly ineffective. He's telling the U.S. not to be paralyzed by their propaganda.
Okay, fine, but let's talk about the day after. This is where these plans always seem to fall apart. You break the regime, and you get a power vacuum, maybe even a civil war.
And it seems like he's trying to get way ahead of that Iraq scenario.
You think?
Oh, absolutely. This is maybe the most insightful part of his pitch. He has clearly studied what happened with de-Baathification in Iraq.
Where the U.S. fired the entire Iraqi army and basically created an insurgency overnight?
Exactly. He wants to avoid that at all costs.
Yeah.
His plan is to keep the military intact.
The regular military, though.
Yes, the regular military. He draws a very hard line between the IRGC, he calls them a parasitic mafia, and the professional national army. He thinks that army can secure the transition.
Which brings us to his idea about amnesty. This feels like it's going to be the most controversial part. He's pushing for national reconciliation.
He is. He's basically sending a signal to the entire security apparatus. He's saying, look, if you didn't pull the trigger on a massacre, you have a future here.
It's a pragmatic move to get people to defect.
A very pragmatic move. And he proposes this coalition government based on 4 simple principles: territorial integrity, secularism, individual liberties, and, of course, free elections.
It's a clean pitch. And he's not just selling it as, charity for the Iranian people. He's framing this as a massive opportunity for the West.
Oh, he knows his audience. He argues a free Iran would be a natural ally to the U.S. and Israel. He even brings up biblical ties between Persians and Jews.
But then he gets to the business part.
Then he drops the economic hammer. He claims a liberated Iran could generate $1 trillion in trade and investment for the U.S. in about 15 years.
He basically wants to flip Iran from being a gas station for China into a major partner for the West, and he branded it. I have to say, he literally used the phrase MIGA.
Make Iran great again.
It's just so on the nose for an American audience, He's saying, help us, and you can stop policing the Middle East and start doing business there.
It's a compelling narrative for sure. Surgical strikes now, prevent a genocide, you get a wealthy ally later.
But here's the question I want to leave you with. His whole plan, this orderly transition, it hinges on amnesty. But let's go back to the start. 40,000 dead. People finished off in hospitals.
That's the one variable you just can't control.
If that regime falls, is it really realistic to expect a grieving, traumatized population to just accept reconciliation? Or is the thirst for vigilante justice going to completely overwhelm the orderly plan he's promising?
That is the gamble.
Thanks for diving in with us. We'll see you next time.